Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra and this is my review for Ready to Love Season 4, The Reunion Part 1 episode. Now you guys, before I get into the review, I want to say thank you for those that have subscribed. I definitely hit my goal today actually. I am now at 100 subscribers. So now you all, my goal is to get to 150 and then to get to 200. I'm really excited about that. I woke up this morning, looked at my subscriber number, and it said 100. You guys, however, it does say like that 99% of people that watch the video don't subscribe. So I'm definitely trying to figure out, well, why is that? And, how can I make the videos a little bit more engaging? So I'm going to definitely work on that. You guys, if you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe. I'm also going to be reviewing about 5 more shows. I'm going to put them in my intro. So if you like any of those shows, just go ahead and subscribe. Just go ahead, do us both a favor and go ahead and subscribe. All right, so before the reunion episode, I know you guys, I try not to watch other things, and I think you guys, I am a little biased because I do like Kyra. I know some of y'all don't, but I do. So she had a live this week, and there was also an interview that Simone did, and I'll go into that one first. So Simone did an interview on Courtney and Eddie's channel, and she dropped a little tidbit. She dropped a whole lot of like little tea, but the main thing that stuck out to me was that Jason had also met Kyra's family that Valentine's weekend. So when Liz said, it didn't mean anything to him, basically that kind of contributed to her laughter. That's one thing. Next, there was a live with AJ and Kyra. It was kind of long. They didn't really say if they were dating or not in real life. Now, this was, in real time. So I know the reunion was taped in April, but this live was like a couple days ago. And they did not say they were dating or not. But the one thing I noticed was like, they had a really cool like banter back and forth. The way he looked at her and kind of vice versa, it kind of lets you know like they probably did try after the show. You can tell if not a husband or boyfriend, she definitely got a good friend out of it, and like so did AJ. I wrote down that he seemed real chill like in real life, but you did not get a chance to see that on the show, because I was like, why is he still here at the end? But it kind of made more sense like watching him be more relaxed on his live. So but that was pretty much it. I don't want to go into all that they said because it was kind of like an hour long, and there was another one with Renisha and Kyra, but I didn't even have time to watch that one. I was just like, I ain't got time. Let's go ahead and now get into the review. All right, guys. So it opens up with 4 couples, the final 4 on the couch. And Tommy asked, what made you guys sign up for the show? Liz says, it was time. 17 years is a long time. What, 17 years ago? How old was I? 16? Hey, I'm old. But yeah, that's a long time. I couldn't imagine like not dating anybody in that length of time. Anyway, Jason says, he had been doing the same thing, getting the same results, and he needs something different to help him with his love life. He said it worked. So does that mean they're together in real life? I know he's been posting about, his queen and all of that good stuff. So maybe they are together in real life. We gonna find out. But they didn't really ask the other couples. It kind of only showed us what Jason and Liz said. So I kind of want to know what the other people would say as well that were on the couch. I know I would sign up for this show. I'm not going to lie. If they come back to Atlanta, I would probably sign up. And I only would sign up because I know on like Married at First Sight, you can't have a child. And I do have a son. So I would sign up. I would want to, lose a little weight. But I would definitely sign up for the show. Anyway, so next we watch KG's journey, from the last season to this new season. How the women were excited that he's gonna be there. They also show Ron's "he's a niche market guy" comment, and he said he came back to find a queen, and he knew he liked her from day 2. So, okay. He says that, Amber says it's genuine and she's secure, and that they have communication like on lock. They communicate very well. We did not see that on the show. Everybody thought Amber was like a little bit shysty, a little bit maybe not honest, but he said, you know what, they're still together and it's working for them. So, I mean, if you like it, I love it, I guess. So next we have the Kyra segment. And they show how 4 guys chose her that on that the gentleman's lounge. It was Joel, David, Jason, and AJ. And as we're watching it, I noticed how Jason is just like cracking up, you know, in the background. And Kyra, they show a clip of Kyra saying, you know, how she wanted to be chosen, how she's the woman, and how she should be pursued. I mean, I feel like most women have this same feeling. You want somebody to want you and pursue you. Like, what's wrong with that? I don't see anything wrong with that. But Alexis, they show Alexis saying something we did not see her say on the show, but you know, basically hating a little bit, just a little bit, talking about she's playing Monopoly and she don't know what her real motive was. Tommy asked Kyra, you know, how did you feel being chosen or pursued by all these men? She says, you know, it was uncomfortable because it made it seem like she had a target on her back. And she thinks that that's where the breakdown with her and Jason may have started. A lot of people said it's because of the finances, but honestly, I believe Kyra may make more money than him. I'm also a teacher, and I really believe that she may make more money than him. So I don't know if the finances was a big thing for him. I do think that it could have definitely been, you know, all of those guys choosing her at that gentleman's lounge that day. So Tommy wants to know, did you have a problem with Kyra? She says no, but she's like, well, how did all these men shift to choosing Kyra? And Kyra says, question them, not me. I mean, yeah, like, it's not her fault that they chose her. If they're reaching out to her, and because honestly, her personality does not suck. Like, she seems like a fun person. She has her stuff going on. So, like, if they're talking to her and she's responding, is she wrong for responding? Alexis, like, I don't really understand. But again, question them, don't question me. And I did not disagree. I know some of you guys, somebody had called me stupid in the comments for kind of agreeing with Kyra, and I mean, I still agree with her on this part. And Alexis was like, maybe you were here just to make it to the end. And I watched like 10 reviews of this show outside of my own, and people were saying that about her all along, that she just wanted to make it to the end, blah blah blah. And Tommy says, you know what, sometimes you're there for love, not friends. So, you know, you can't really be upset at her for being pursued by somebody who likes her. He also says, you all would not even know what happened in the gentleman's lounge. So who's telling y'all? Comes out, it was Ron. So apparently, I don't know, I feel like Ron was like real messy, I guess, amongst the cast members. And Kyra says that Ron tried to talk to her before the show even started, but she did not like him. And honestly, I don't blame her. He does not seem like genuine. He don't seem like a gentleman. He don't seem like he would really handle you with care, because clearly how he treated Alexis. But we'll get into that a little bit later anyway. So Renisha was just like, you know what? All these men are full of it. And I mean, it is what it is. I'm like, Renisha, are you talking about Joel too? But we gonna see. All right, so next scene, we see a little clip of Trista. She wasn't there. She had a positive COVID test. She talks about the one thing that she learned was to date multiple men. And I was just talking about that with my best friend, because when we're kind of like dating, we find one guy who likes us, we like them, we gonna just go with them, you know, and forget everybody else. And it's just like, instead of kind of weighing your options, and I think that's a better idea. Next, we see Khalil and Christian come on the screen with Stacy to discuss their double elimination. It kind of just shows them striking out, him talking about mean girls of Khalil, and Christian just being like awkward and not just like bubbly, and just kind of being in the corner and looking awkward, basically. But Christian says he would like to date Andrea. they kind of put him on the spot, and he asked her to go out, and she says yes. She was surprised, but she said yes. Next, they showed Khalil and asked him who has he been dating. Now, this scene or this exchange was a little bit weird to me, and I'm gonna tell you why. I watched an interview on Courtney and Eddie's channel again, and Ida was saying that if there was anybody on the show, she would have gone after Khalil. So when Khalil said they had been dating, she was kind of upset. I didn't understand it. She was like, oh, we're going public today? I didn't know that. And I was just like, what's the big deal? You have said it openly that you wanted to date him, so what's the issue? But apparently he told her not to share, blah, blah, blah. She looked pissed, but, I mean, y'all dating, so who cares? Anyway, next we see the Ron segment of him and Chrysanthemum and Alexis, and Alexis was shaking her head watching, and so was I, because he told you who he was. You just chose not to believe it. You chose to think that you could do for him what you did for your ex, which was bring him closer to God, and that's not who Ron was. So it goes back to him saying, you know, she was smarter than that, or he thought she was smarter than that comment. And Tommy was like, you know what? Out of 4 seasons, that's not how you talk to a woman. Period. He said no man has ever talked to a woman like that on his show, and there has to be a level of respect. And I thank him for checking Ron, because I feel like Ron wouldn't have apologized, and he still didn't. But let's get into it. Ron claims that him saying that she was smarter than that was about AJ, and how AJ was not, you know, treating her right. And he thought that she would notice it before then, and how AJ came, you know, all up in her face when it was time for elimination. Now, I ain't gonna lie, a couple of people have said the same thing about AJ when it came to Alexis, and him kind of, you know, coming to be all up in her face when it's time for elimination. So he kind of had a small point. However, that could have been delivered so differently and at a different time. But anyway, again, like I said, Ron, he just kind of kept talking, and he didn't really apologize. Apparently, Chrysanthemum met his mom. Alexis was just like, well, how did she meet your mom? And blah, blah, blah. He said they lived close. It was no big deal to him. Then they go into the whole, you know, they show the videos of him talking about he kissed Amber. And then we get into some more mess. Ron said he thought that if it came down between him and Chris KG, that he would always win, because he's not a niche market guy. Can somebody please tell me, what does that mean? What is a niche market guy? Does that mean like basic? Help me understand. But anyway, they replay, you know, Alexis confronting Amber, calling her a Judas. Ron says, we've been on many dates, me and Amber. She was like, no, we didn't. He was like, a couple of dates. She was like, no. He's like, okay, 1. And Kyra was like, wait, how you go from many to a couple to just 1? You're lying. Like, you're trying to make yourself seem what? Because you kind of come off like a jerk, and at this point, a liar. Amber was upset. She says, we did not plan to date after the show, because this is what Ron was saying. And Alexis was just like, he has never told her they were done prior to that meeting, so him kissing her made her feel the type of way. I'm kind of just like, who really cares? But okay. Ron says that somebody cheated on him, and they went to a little break, and they showed Ron talking to Jason, and Jason looks really nice to me. Y'all gonna get on me for this, but I think he looked nice. But anyway, so next scene, quick scene, we see the guys talking about a brotherhood and friendship, and how they don't see men supporting other men. They play back to, you know, when Joel got emotional, and also to that moment when Jason also got emotional, because he didn't really hear a whole lot of encouraging words by himself that often. So they played that back. They showed Frick and Frack, which was the sister wives, Chrysanthemum and Stacy. Tommy says, you know what, why are you guys so connected? They say we're the same. You know, and somebody, I can't remember who it was who I watched, they said that they probably linked up because they're probably thinking that we're each other's competition. They're both light-skinned, they're both cute. They both, I don't know what else, are petite, I don't know what else, but I think light-skinned and cute, so they probably just clicked up because of that. I mean, they could definitely have a friendship outside of just being light skinned and cute. But you know, somebody said they probably thought they were each other's competition, and it kind of seemed like that on the show when dealing with Ron. So maybe that could be why they linked up. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, David was like, you call one of them, you calling the other. AJ says he did have interest in both of them, but he didn't want to be talking about, well, you call her first. So Stacey said that's a double standard because y'all can have a bromance, but y'all don't want us to talk to each other or be clicked up. And I think what they were saying was they wanted to be able to get to know you guys separately and not be like held to the fire, I guess, for talking to one or the other. Like, okay. But I do think them saying they were intimidated was the wrong word to use. I don't think they were intimidated. They were just like maybe annoyed or aggravated, or, you know, maybe turned off is maybe a better word to use for this situation. But anyway, next we see AJ, Kyra, and Alexis. Tommy says, and it kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, but it made me really feel like Tommy was more leaning towards AJ picking Alexis than Kyra to me. I could definitely be wrong, but it definitely kind of seemed like he didn't understand why he picked Kyra for it. But anyway, let's get into it. He says, how do you go from kissing Alexis to sending her home? He was just like, well, everybody was kissing, because, you know, Amber was kissing. But he was like, I kissed Kyra too. So, you know, Alexis says, the kiss and the words, you telling me I'm in pursuit of you, made me feel a way that you were really, really into me, whatever. AJ says being in pursuit of you means going on dates, showing interest. And he said, you know, he was in pursuit of both of them. And it was a hard decision for him. You can tell it was tough for him when he was sitting there holding Kyra's hand. He was conflicted. You could already tell. And Tommy says, you know, why did you send her home? He says, well, Ron was her top choice. And if he was still there, she would have chose him. But then Ron chimed in and said, but y'all kissed, blah, blah, blah. I guess talking about the timeline of the kisses. And AJ said, so, okay, Ron, you want to chime in? Go ahead and tell me, how did I mistreat her? How did I mistreat Alexis? And Ron says, oh, there was a story going around that they had a party or something. And, okay, from what AJ said, the guys were downstairs. And apparently, Alexis went to a different room in the house by herself. And I guess she thought that he would come to find her, and she was in the room for a couple of hours. And AJ did not know why she was in the room, and come to find out, she was waiting on him and got upset with him, but he was talking to the guys, and he didn't know she was up there waiting on him, is what AJ said. I mean, if you're at a party, why go seclude yourself without him knowing that you're waiting for him? I'm sure if he would have known, he probably would have gone or told her, like, hey, you know, just go ahead and mingle or whatever. I'll come get you later. Why sit there and wait for 2 hours and then be upset with him? That's the story off camera. And again, Tommy says, why did you send her home? He says, I had a connection with Kyra that was stronger, and just that was my choice. I mean, you asked him that like twice, but okay. Or maybe 3 times. But he said, you know what, it was his choice. They show AJ telling her, Kyra, she's not ready to love. And Tommy says to Alexis, did you know he was that close to choosing you, basically? She says, I don't understand. I can see he had a hard time, though, making that decision. And it does go back to what AJ said. He would have regretted sending Kyra home. You can not like it, but that's what his decision was. And again, you guys, I'm not gonna lie. When I watched that live of Kyra and AJ, it seems like they could really make it because they're not only friends, but they kind of can both express themselves in a different way than what we saw on the show. But let's get back into it. And Tommy says, again, why you sent her home? AJ says, well, Tommy, you kind of put it in my mind when you said, you know who your girl is when you walk in the room. You kind of light up. He knew that when he saw Kyra, he lights up. And on that live, y'all, if you want to go watch it, go ahead. But in the live, he kind of does light up, and his face looks happy when he's talking next. When he's not talking next. When he's sitting next to Kyra. But anyway, so they discussed the whole love triangle, and now it's Kyra's turn to talk. Tommy says, Kyra, you saw him struggle, so why did you choose yourself? She goes into, I love hard. I don't want to have to turn back. I want to be 10 toes down. And I felt like we did not have enough time together. And I noticed how Jason was sitting behind Kyra and how he was looking as she was talking. He was just like, what? Because she felt like when she noticed that, her and Jason would just not work anymore, she wanted to go ahead and see what it's going to be about with AJ. But it was really, really late in the game. But anyway, Kyra said she felt like she liked him, but she wanted to know, it's no turning back. She wanted them to continue to go ahead and date and have no questions about making the right decision or not. She says, we were dating. I clocked that were. And Tommy says, well, where are you guys now? AJ says he is willing to still date her, but then it gets messy. Because apparently Kyra went on a 2-week trip, and during that time, her and AJ were talking, but he went on a date with Alexis at that time. Apparently, he did not tell her, Alexis, that him and Kyra were dating, and she DM'd him on her birthday and asked him, was it real? My question, why are you reaching out to him on your birthday? Talking about, was it real? He should have reached out to you. You should not be reaching out to him on your birthday. But okay. He said yes, everything was real, and offered to take her on a date for her birthday. Apparently they had a good time. It was intimate, it was romantic, and they kissed. AJ says, you know what? We were dating. We're not committed to each other. And again, you're supposed to be dating around until you decide who's the right fit for you. And, AJ says, you know what? It was tough for me. You could tell on the screen that it was a hard thing to hear Kyra say, like, I choose myself, or whatever she said. So they go into, AJ, which one of these women do you want? He said it's not Alexis. It's not, duh. And with Kyra, he said we ended it not in a relationship or whatever. He said it bothered him because that she could not say him. And you could tell it bothered him. AJ said you should be right. Oh, AJ said when it came to Kyra, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read my notes and remember what happened in the story, but okay, not the story, but the show. AJ said with Kyra, it felt like she could go do whatever she wanted to do, and not you should be standing right where I left you, and I'll come back when I'm ready to. And he was just like, we're not really dating, so he can do other things. Tyra says, Kyra, are you interested in anything? I'm sorry, are you interested in continuing to date AJ? Being kind of cut out. Well, okay. I feel like what AJ said was true. I do think Kyra was kind of stringing him along a little bit, and you want him to just sit there and wait while you go out and explore, and that's not really fair to him. So you can't really blame him for the date with Alexis. You can blame him for like kissing her if you want to, but I mean, y'all are dating, you're not committed. If you're dating someone, you are open to date other people, right? I think that's what we kind of messed up at. Let me not even go into no whole tangent on that. But anyway, so next week we see AJ gonna be in the hot seat, and I'm gonna tell you what I did not like was Vernisha all in Kyra's ear saying he shouldn't have went on a date with Alexis. Vernisha, girl, mind your business, okay? We see Kyra and Jason have an exchange next week. We see Vernisha saying that Joel saying that he's single. So again, AJ is single. So why you telling Kyra, you out in her ear, but like AJ is single from that point. I don't know what they're doing today in real life, but like, he was single, so why he couldn't go on a date with Alexis? And then we also see David and Liz have an exchange. It's probably gonna be real, real good, real uncomfortable for them, but I don't know. I I enjoyed the episode overall. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't think it's fair for Kyra and Vernisha and Alexis to kind of be all up on AJ. But at the same time, you could communicate a little bit better, you know, and let her know what you're gonna be doing. So I kind of get it, but I kind of don't, because this whole time, Kyra, you have not chosen AJ. So like, is it fair to just want him to just sit around and wait on you? I don't really know. But anyway, you guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm also going to be reviewing Put a Ring on It today as well. So if you all are interested, go ahead and check that video out too. But in order to do that and know when it's uploaded, you got to press subscribe, right? So go ahead and press the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye.